The Steffi Graf Stadion in Berlin had just witnessed something extraordinary. Alexandra Eala, the 21-year-old wildcard from the Philippines, had done the unthinkable. She had beaten Elena Rybakina, the world number 2, the Wimbledon champion, the woman who had crushed her in Rome just weeks earlier. The crowd was still buzzing. The cameras were still rolling. The tennis world was still processing what they had just seen. And then, something even more unexpected happened. Something that had nothing to do with tennis. Something that melted the hearts of everyone in the room. Eala walked into a press conference. But this was not a normal press conference. The journalists were children. Young fans. Kids with big dreams and even bigger questions. And what happened next was absolutely adorable. The crowd went crazy. The internet exploded. And Alexandra Eala won hearts in a way that no trophy ever could. This is the story of a moment that proved why she is not just a tennis player. She is a hero. Before the adorable moment, there was the victory. The match that had everyone on the edge of their seats. Alexandra Eala, ranked number 35 in the world, had just produced the biggest upset of her young career. She had defeated world number 2 Elena Rybakina in straight sets, 7-5, 6-4, to book a spot in the quarterfinals of the Berlin Open on her tournament debut. The victory matched her career best win by ranking and marked her 5th career top 10 victory, all in straight sets, with 4 of those coming against top 5 opponents. The match was a testament to Eala's fighting spirit. The 21-year-old was in trouble early, down 4-1 in the first set, before finding her footing and taking 6 of the next 7 games to go up a set. Rybakina had 13 aces and won 81% of her first serves. But Eala took advantage of Rybakina's second serve, winning 70.4% of those points and converting 3 of her 7 breakpoint opportunities. She was brave. She was relentless. She was fearless. I think you have to give yourself grace while also being brave, Eala said after the match. And I think for me, returning in my game in general, a highlight word would be to be brave. And it makes a big difference when I'm able to do that. The victory was not just about the win. It was about what the win represented. Eala, ranked number 35 in the world at the time, was fighting for something bigger than just a quarterfinal spot. She was fighting for a Wimbledon seed. The Wimbledon seeding cutoff was June 22. The top 32 players receive a seed, which gives them a protected placement in the draw, avoiding the top seeds until at least the 3rd round. The victory over Rybakina moved Eala to about number 31 in live WTA rankings, putting her past Emma Raducanu and closer to possible Wimbledon seeding. After the match, Eala did something that melted hearts around the world. She pulled out her phone and called her dad. I called my dad, the beaming 21-year-old said in her on-court interview. I just said, oh my God. We were just screaming, and my mom was there, too. I'm just really happy. The moment was pure, raw, and utterly human. But the best was yet to come. The on-court interview was emotional. The victory was historic. But nothing could have prepared the tennis world for what happened next. Eala walked into a press conference. But this was not a normal press conference. The room was filled with children. Young fans. Kids with big dreams and even bigger questions. They were not professional journalists. They were not seasoned reporters. They were children who had been given the opportunity of a lifetime. The opportunity to interview a real-life tennis star. The cameras started rolling. The children raised their hands. And Eala, the 21-year-old who had just beaten the world number 2, the woman who had been shaking on match point just hours earlier, transformed. She was no longer the fierce competitor. She was no longer the relentless fighter. She was something else entirely. She was warm. She was patient. She was absolutely adorable. The first question came from a young girl, barely old enough to hold a microphone. "How did you feel when you won?" she asked, her voice trembling with excitement. Eala leaned forward. She smiled. She looked the girl in the eyes. "I felt like I was dreaming," she said. "I was shaking. I was foggy. But I was so happy." Another child raised his hand. "What do you eat before a match?" Eala laughed. She laughed like she was talking to her own little brother. "Pasta," she said. "Lots of pasta. And maybe some chocolate for good luck." The room erupted in laughter. The children were giggling. The parents in the back were wiping away tears. The cameras captured every single moment. The internet would soon explode, but it was the next question that truly melted hearts. A young boy, no older than 8, raised his hand. "Do you ever get scared?" he asked. The room went silent. It was a question that adults rarely ask. A question that cuts through all the bravado and the posturing. A question that gets to the heart of what it means to be human. Eala paused. She thought about it. And then she gave an answer that would be shared millions of times. "All the time," she said. "I get scared before every match. But I tell myself that it's okay to be scared. It means you care. It means you want to win. And then I take a deep breath, and I try to be brave." The boy smiled. The room applauded. And Alexandra Eala had just won more hearts than any trophy could ever capture. The children's press conference continued. And with every question, Eala revealed more of herself. More of her heart. More of the person behind the tennis player. The children asked about her family. They asked about her dreams. They asked about the things that mattered to them. And Eala answered every single question, with the same warmth and patience. One young girl asked about her parents. "Do they come to all your matches?" she asked. Eala's face lit up. "They try," she said. "They are my biggest supporters. My dad, he's always there. Even when he can't be in the stands, he's watching on TV. And my mom, she's the one who keeps me grounded. She reminds me that tennis is just a game. That what matters is who I am, not what I win." Another child asked about the Philippines. "Do you miss home?" he asked. Eala's eyes softened. "Every single day," she said. "The Philippines is my home. It's where I learned to play. It's where my family is. It's where my heart is. Every time I step on the court, I'm not just playing for myself. I'm playing for everyone back home who believes in me." The children nodded. They understood. They might not have been professional journalists, but they knew what it meant to represent something bigger than yourself. They knew what it meant to have a dream. One young boy raised his hand. "What advice would you give to a kid who wants to be a tennis player?" he asked. Eala leaned forward. She looked at him with the intensity of someone who knew exactly what he was feeling. "Never give up," she said. "There will be hard days. There will be days when you want to quit. But if you love it, if you really love it, you keep going. You keep fighting. You keep believing. And one day, you'll look back and realize that all those hard days were worth it." The room was silent. The children were absorbing every word. The parents were crying. And Alexandra Eala had just given a masterclass in humility. The children's press conference was over. The questions had been asked. The answers had been given. The children had left the room with smiles on their faces and dreams in their hearts. But the moment was just beginning. The video of the press conference was posted online. And within hours, it went viral. Fans around the world could not stop talking about it. The hashtag started trending. The video was shared millions of times. News outlets picked it up. Sports commentators analyzed it. But the reaction was not about tennis. It was about something else entirely. It was about humanity. It was about kindness. It was about a young woman who had just beaten the world number 2, and who still had time to answer a child's question about being scared. One fan wrote, "This is why we love Alex Eala. Not just because she wins, but because of who she is." Another said, "She's a role model. Not just for Filipino kids. For all kids." A third fan tweeted, "I'm not crying. You're crying." The moment was a reminder of why sports matter. Not for the trophies. Not for the rankings. But for the connection. For the inspiration. For the moments that remind us that athletes are human too. Eala, for her part, was overwhelmed by the reaction. "I didn't expect it to go viral," she said later. "I just answered their questions. They were kids. They were curious. They deserved honest answers. That's all I did." But that was exactly why the moment resonated. Because Eala did not treat the children like they were beneath her. She did not give them canned answers. She did not rush through the questions. She treated them with respect. She treated them like equals. And in doing so, she showed the world what true greatness looks like. The moment also highlighted the incredible support Eala receives from Filipino fans around the world. They had stayed up late, sacrificed sleep, and flooded social media with messages of excitement and disbelief. They had watched her battle back from 4-1 down, had held their breath during the tense moments, and had erupted when she secured the victory. One fan wrote, "Di ko talaga kayang tapasin, kinakabahan ako. Thank God panalo sa hindi." Another said, "Hawak mo ang beat," at Alex Eala 05. "We are so proud of you. Talagang nilaban mo from the start until the end." The children's press conference was just another reason for them to love their champion even more. The Berlin Open continues. Eala faces Elena Rybakina in the quarterfinals. The Ukrainian veteran is a former world number 3, a Grand Slam semifinalist, and one of the most experienced players on tour. The match will be a test of everything Eala has learned on grass. It will be a test of her resilience, her courage, and her ability to back up a massive win. The Berlin quarterfinal will mark the first singles meeting between Eala and Svitolina. The winner will advance to the semifinals and face either Linda Noskova or Paula Badosa, but no matter what happens in the quarterfinals, one thing is certain. Eala has already won. She has won the hearts of fans around the world. She has inspired a generation of Filipino tennis players. She has shown the world that champions can come from anywhere. And she has proven that true greatness is not just about what you achieve on the court. It is about who you are off it. The children's press conference was a moment that will be remembered long after the Berlin Open is over. It was a moment that reminded everyone why Alexandra Eala is more than just a tennis player. She is a hero. She is a role model. She is a symbol of hope for millions of Filipinos around the world. The crowd went crazy. The internet exploded. And Alexandra Eala won hearts in a way that no trophy ever could. Because in the end, it is not the victories that define us. It is the moments of kindness. The moments of connection. The moments that remind us that we are all human. The tennis world is watching. The Filipino fans are praying. And Alexandra Eala is ready. She has already achieved what no Filipino tennis player has ever done. She has climbed higher than anyone before her. She has inspired a generation. She has shown the world that champions can come from anywhere. And she has done it all with grace, humility, and a heart that belongs to the children who look up to her.